Ozempic. The hottest topic, the hottest pharmaceutical to take nowadays. I feel like I can't go more than a few minutes without seeing something about a GLP-1 on my Instagram feed or my YouTube reels, or I deleted TikTok though for my mental health quite a few months ago, and let me say it has improved quite a bit. Healthcare professionals and everyday people are claiming it has insane benefits. I'm talking everything from diabetes control, like it was marketed as, to helping with autoimmune conditions and conditions such as PCOS or insulin resistance. While I'm not one to judge somebody based off of what they put in their bodies, especially at the direction of a doctor, I am a bit suspicious about the miracle benefits of this new drug. To be honest with you, as somebody who struggles with their weight, if I didn't already have some of the issues I have, I probably would have been on it like 6 months, a year ago. On top of that, I have like the world's most sensitive tummy, confirmed by my gastroenterologist. So that's just a little tidbit in why it's not exactly for me. From tapeworms to pills, diet fads are as tale as old as time. There are 100,000 whatever different videos that can go into it way more in depth than I can, and I'll try to link some of those below for you, but I will save you the listening and just let you know that we have been preying on people's insecurities forever. One of the drugs that I've heard about and remember seeing in the news as a young person, because I'm old and was born in the 90s, was a drug known as fen-phen, and I am gonna do my best to try to pronounce this. It was phentermine mixed with fenfluramine. It was a miracle drug. It was marketed around the 1970s, 1990s, but was later discontinued because the one ingredient I can't really pronounce was found to cause heart valve issues. Also, the history behind, I was looking into this, and the history behind this testing that they did on the drug was like really messed up in the 1990s. They tested on like underprivileged communities and minority community, like children. It's super messed up, and I suggest you go read the Wikipedia on that. Yes, I know Wikipedia isn't a real source, but are you my professor? Are you grading me? No. I'm a little snarky today. I actually, funny enough, I actually have taken phentermine during the, how can I say this? During the stimulant shortage of, it was either last summer or the summer before. I've diagnosed ADHD, so I was taking Vyvanse, but you can get your hands on anything. So my doctor, because I also suffer with binge eating, which we'll get into in a bit, decided to prescribe me phentermine just for like the meantime. I was on a baby dose. I asked my brother if he had ever taken it, my older brother, and he said it made him feel like he was on an illicit substance. For me, because I was only on half the dose, I didn't really feel that way. A lot of people say it makes them feel crazy though. As we know, just like we've heard about Ozempic being a wonder drug, we've also heard about the many side effects it has. Nausea, vomiting, GI, gas, pain, what it's known for, loss of appetite. One of the ways it works so well is by slowing gastric emptying. And for my baddies who have never eaten a radioactive sandwich inside an advanced or American radiology, then gastric emptying is how slowly or quickly food moves from your stomach into your intestines. So if your gastric motility is slowed down, the food sits in there for longer, and that makes you feel full longer. But that's also what gives you, nausea, vomiting. In the GI community sphere of things, that's actually a condition called gastroparesis, and apparently people get it like in the interim while taking the medication, but it can exist past taking it, so they could give themselves gastroparesis. And as somebody who has that themselves and has motility issues themselves, it is not something you want. I was bedbound for 2 years. Are things really changing? Why does this feel familiar? So it's no secret that thin has always been the ideal. The 1990s were full of like heroin chic models and Hollywood stars. If you could go a day without seeing a tabloid about like Paris Hilton, Lindsay Lohan, the Olsen twins in the grocery store, you couldn't go without seeing it, is what I'm trying to say. I forgot where I was going with that. And even go back even further, 1960s, the supermodel Twiggy, known for her almost androgynous stick-like figure. Now back to the 90s and the 2000s, we have something that I can imagine was plastered on every teenage and young woman's Instagram and Tumblr that I have seen a million times in my years on the internet, is the Kate Moss quote, "Nothing tastes as good as skinny feels." If that were true, then I want her to try this bangin' donut place near me. Now around the 2010s, we start seeing a push for more body positivity and acceptance of bodies at different sizes. However, these plus size models typically had a flatter stomach and a more angled face, and without really a second chin in sight, like, us bigger girls have. Along with this came the trend for the BBL, or the baddie body. I mean, we all know Kim Kardashian is famous for allegedly having had one. I believe most of her family is to be alleged of having one. I don't think I worded that right. Clothing websites such as Fashion Nova and Pretty Little Thing heavily capitalized on this baddie, tiny waist, big butt, big hips, big breasts aesthetic. Their models featured unrealistic proportions that were somewhere between the mix of surgery and Photoshop. And some of these body proportions were like beyond insane. But maybe that's just a hint of jealousy because my ass is completely flat. I have a lot of it. It's just wide and not up. Let's be real here. Thin has always been in, and it most likely will always be in. There might be one plus size model or character, whatever, walking the runway or in your favorite TV show, or maybe even a popular influencer. But overall, they still most likely have traits of the thin ideal. Even the famous BBL of Kim Kardashian, allegedly, has gotten smaller as thinness has gotten popular again. So let's talk about trying to lose weight in an Ozempic, Wegovy, Trizepatide arena. First of all, what we're seeing is people losing absolutely insane amounts of weights. Like, I am talking about early, I don't know, take a shot every time I say early 2000s in this video. I am talking about like early 2000s, grocery store tabloid-esque, lose 10 pounds in 10 days type diet. Now, just so you're aware, and this doesn't apply to everyone in every situation, I'll get into that in a little bit, but a healthy rate of weight loss is considered no more than 2 pounds a week. And in order to lose those 2 pounds a week, you have to take in 1,000 calories less each day than what you burn. And that doesn't account for inaccurate food labels, how much water you drink, for my uterus having friends, what time of the month you're on. Now, what I'm saying is it might not be the same for everyone. Usually when you start at a larger weight, you are able to drop quicker than starting at a lower weight, especially if you're first introducing diet and exercise into your life. Somebody who weighs 400 pounds is going to burn a lot more calories just existing than somebody who weighs 140 pounds. Today, I feel like we are bombarded with what I eat in the days that leave you wondering, how are you not dizzy all the time? And with this normalization of fast-paced, intense weight loss, how can I mentally try to go on losing weight in a healthy and sustainable way? My progress in losing weight and getting healthier, I went on a bit of a cut over the summer, put on a bit of a bulk, if that's what you want to call it, from like September to December, because the holidays, we had a death in the family, just a million excuses I could use, right? My progress as somebody who's trying to get healthier and lose weight seems so incredibly slow to what we're being shown, and that in itself is incredibly discouraging. As somebody who knows, like, this is a mathematical equation. Like, I put food in, I put energy out. I need to put less in than what I am putting out. And I know I'm doing these things, and it still seems so slow. I'm seeing progress, even if the the number on the scale, it doesn't move. My measurements have gone down. I'm visibly more muscular now than I have probably ever been in my life. But it is a struggle. And as somebody who has been both thin, underweight, and medically obese, it is incredibly difficult to see how different people treat you. And I'm going to make a video on that, both of my own personal experience and just like statistics and data to back that up. It feels like a constant uphill battle. Yeah, I only lost 0.2 pounds this week or whatever, and that's normal. It's normal to experience weight fluctuations, but when I'm seeing Jenny, 35 from Nebraska, losing 10 pounds this week alone, kind of makes you feel less than and like you're not doing something right. I'm a girl on medications that cause pretty intense hunger. Thank you, mirtazapine. And even before then, I'm a girl who just can't say no to a sweet treat. And growing up with what these kids would now call an almond mom. Literally, my mom loved almonds. And a father who struggled with his weight. It's not crazy to see why I have such a difficult relationship with food and my body. Once again, it feels like a long uphill battle that so many people are sprinting to the top on. And yes, this does come, and I realize this with my own sense of jealousy. Why can't I lose 10 pounds a week? Low and slow has been scientifically proven to be the best thing for long-term weight loss. But even with the data, why do I still feel so behind? Social media has not only given us access to celebrities that we would previously read, headlines about, but also the everyday person. Like I said, if somebody that is seemingly similar to me at a similar social status and a similar place in life or a similar age is able to lose this crazy amount of weight in this amount of time, then why can't I? Am I not strong-willed enough? Am I not eating the right things? Am I eating too much? Am I eating too little? Am I exercising enough? Should I be shelling out hundreds of dollars a month if my insurance doesn't cover a medication in order to suppress my appetite? Just a reminder, I want everyone to just be reminded of this. If something seems, there's my cat in the corner. If something seems too good to be true, it probably is. So I said in the beginning, I couldn't take it. Not because I necessarily didn't want to, because if I didn't have the issues I have, believe me, I probably would be on it and probably be the face and spokesperson of Ozempic. As long as it didn't hurt me. But I have the world's most sensitive stomach. So basically I have motility issues, which like we talked about before with the gastric emptying, is how long it takes for food to move through my digestive tract. I actually have an ostomy bag because I could not poop. You know the ringer they put you through as a seemingly healthy 20-something-year-old? To get an ostomy bag? Just because you can't poop? I tried every medication, everything over the counter, every natural supplement. Believe me, I don't want your advice. Things are a lot better for me now. I much prefer having an ostomy than pooping out of my butt. But I talked with my doctor when I was concerned about my weight. And, she brought up GLP-1s, and she said she would never, ever give somebody with my type of conditions access to having GLP-1s because she, A, doesn't want to get sued, and B, thinks that it would just make our issues 10 times worse, and then even after we would discontinue the drug, it would stay 10 times worse. So I guess I have to lose weight the old-fashioned way, the way the 1950s housewives did by taking stimulants. Well, yes, I am on the perfect cocktail of medications for increasing weight, increasing appetite, and increasing my waistline, thanks to my chronic pain medications, non-opioid based. That coupled with a lifelong issue, but semi-recent diagnosis of ADHD has made me a good candidate for Vyvanse, which I talked about earlier. It doesn't really decrease my appetite like it would for somebody, I'm guessing if it was somebody just taking it for binge eating disorder and not for ADHD as well. My cat is in the litter box and he is taking forever. So if someone were taking Vyvanse with just a binge eating disorder, they may experience a decrease in appetite because of the stimulating effects. However, because I have ADHD, I don't have any scientific data to back this up, but I feel like I get less of that activating feeling that then suppresses appetite. Same thing can be said for like caffeine, right? I also, once again, thank you, mirtazapine, have something called night eating syndrome, which is where about an hour after I fall asleep, I wake up and my brain tells me I need to eat and I need to put away as much carbs, sugar, and fat as I possibly can. Not that any of those things are bad on their own, but it's bad for when you're, or not bad, it's hard to eat a large amount of those foods while still losing weight and maintaining a calorie deficit. In my half awake, half asleep state, which it's weird, I always remember waking up, but I never remember going back to bed or going back into my bedroom. And one thing that is characteristic of people who have this disorder is they always feel like they cannot go back to sleep until they eat. Now, past me has put down like a whole bag of chocolate chips in one night. Yes, I did wake up with a horrible stomach ache for the next 2 days. But one thing I have to do is I have to literally put locks on my fridge and my cabinet. It sounds insane, but so far it has kept me from eating in the middle of the night. It's been a relatively new thing where I finally just hunkered down and said I need to do this. And it doesn't matter too if I'm in a calorie deficit, a calorie surplus, or at maintenance. It happens regardless. One thing I also do in order to lose weight is I try to do 30 minutes to an hour of cardio a day just on my walking pad, which has been a blessing because it is literally snowing and 20 degrees here right now. I also do weightlifting. Try to do 3 days a week, 5 days a week if I'm lucky. Like I said earlier, I had to take a few months off due to like some family stuff. I said COVID. I'm on my 4th back-to-back stomach flu, and then I just had another virus, like a throat thing. I'm telling you, I'm trying to be healthy and my body is stopping me. By the way, if I look like I'm crying, I'm not. I'm yawning in between, because my sleep schedule is like messed up, man. And like I said, I'm recovering from this like throat face cold thing I got going on. It feels good to be back to like a sense of normalcy, at least with my movement. Exercise is not only good for your body, but your mind. I find that when I exercise more, I'm less anxious, I sleep better, and my chronic conditions seem to improve. Eating right is also the move too. I'm the type of person to make my own bread, but then I also indulge in probably cancer-causing chemicals that are in my sugar-free coffee syrup. The thing is like everything in balance, I try to eat a mostly whole foods diet. Do I limit myself to just whole foods? No, I tried doing that for a bit. It was literally driving me insane. Not worth it. Don't go overboard. Like I said earlier, if I didn't have my digestive issues, I would probably be on Ozempic or something else, similar. For me currently, the risk is not worth the reward. I'm one of those people, I do not think taking a GLP-1 or having like a gastric bypass surgery is cheating. I think it's a tool that can be used, and if you have access to that tool, great. However, nothing is without cost, whether that be financial cost of the surgery or the shots or the cost of your health. But then again, being overweight has its cost too. I'm not one of those people where I think it's very hard for me to frame this. Like I said, as somebody who's been both underweight and overweight, there are medical complications to either or. And I think somewhere our bodies tend to be healthier in the middle. Now, can you be, say like a 5'5" woman like myself and healthy at 170 pounds, which would be overweight, versus, 120 pounds, which would be in your ideal weight? You could be somebody who exercises, eats better and stuff at 170 pounds, and, maybe you're healthier than the person at 120 pounds, but things aren't seen that way. And doctors may not see it that way either. Trust me, I hate getting weighed at the doctor's office. That being said, there are cons to being overweight. When I was at my heaviest, probably, what year did I buy my house? What was that? Spring of 2023. There was this picture where I was at my heaviest and I was starting to have symptoms of sleep apnea. So there is a cost to being overweight other than just being overweight itself and having to deal with the societal stigma of it. Just remember, there's no magic pill, cure, whatever, anything. No medication is right for everyone. And there's a lot of misinformation out there. The only thing I can say is talk to an actual healthcare provider about this, especially if you're somebody who already has chronic conditions going into it. Well, folks, that's all for now. Please feel free to like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below. Let me know in the comments how you feel about my camera. Really just died as I was on like the final paragraph of my notes. Well, folks, That's all for now. Once again, please feel free to share your experiences if you've been on a GLP-1 or if you've been off of a GLP-1. Let me know your experiences with it. How does it affect you? How has it changed the media you've consumed? Do you believe it's a wonder drug or a potentially dangerous passing fad that we'll see advertisements for law firms from, where it's like, if you or your loved one has taken Ozempic, call me at 1-800-LAW-LAW. Will we see those in 25 years? Thanks for spending time with me. If you like diet, lifestyle content, lifestyle commentary, then feel free to add me on here. Or don't. I'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye.